The corporations have not yet won.
Community still exists in small tucked-away areas not often talked about.
Artists and businesses beginning to thrive in places thought to be defeated.
Dave, I like to call him David Francis.
And I, Tom Maslowski,
are here to give you a glimpse of what's going down in downtown J-Town.
We're going to be interviewing all of our favorite musicians,
artists, and business owners
that give every ounce of themselves into what they do.
Back. Say that again, Tom.
We are back above Chicago Street Pub. In fact, you may even be able to hear the open mic night occurring downstairs. It's Monday night. We're recording as usual. We have with us in the studio tonight the famous David J. Francis behind the soundboard. You're like famous now.
Notorious. I'm more notorious than famous.
Well,
yeah.
It's kind of like a famous
I talk to famous people. I hobnob with famous people, but
You're
I
habnob.
But I don't get recognized walking down the street in my own town.
I recognize you.
Okay, a handful of people.
We also have with us in the studio tonight Pat Lyons, back home from Austin to join the musical mastery of Joliet. Pat, what's your first song tonight?
It's a tune called Old Stone Walls.
Take her away.
Should I start right now?
Well,
should I wait till that car drives by?
I think.
All right, well,
the car's got reverb.
Still searching my soul from an old prison cell. Past there the hours of another day in hell. My daddy always said, boy, don't never say never, 'cause these old stone walls can't hold me forever. Well, the hum of the neon kept calling my name. Thought I'd try something different, but it all ended up the same. What got me started on that last whiskey bender, that these old stone walls can't hold me forever. Well, these old stone walls, yeah, these old stone walls, rattle up the keys and the screams down the hall. Don't try and kid myself, I don't even miss her at all behind these old stone walls. Stone walls, rattle up the keys and the screams down the hall. You know, I try and kid myself, I don't even miss her at all behind these old stone walls. Can she forgive me, or will she move on? What a price to pay for a few moments gone wrong. How can I explain it in the pages that I sent her, that these old stone walls can't hold me forever? Yeah, these old stone walls, yeah, these old stone walls, rattle up the keys and screams down low. Don't try and kid myself, I don't even miss her at all behind these old
was great. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I knew you could play, but I didn't know you could sing.
Oh, thanks, man. I can't really, but
I don't know what you'd call that then. That was good to me.
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And Dave was talking about when Pat joined Tim Plaker downstairs for the Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Buddy Holly tribute show.
Yeah, that was
a
fun.
kick-ass show.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed that night.
Oh, this place was slammed full of people.
Yeah, it was like uncomfortably crowded.
Yeah. Good times, though.
Shoulder to shoulder is what I heard, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. We saw you at the end of the night, though. Stumbling in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where we were playing or why I wasn't here.
Yeah,
but
you had something going on.
a different show somewhere else. So, and you just got back from Austin. You were there for a couple of years.
Yeah, me and my wife moved down there for about 2 years, just right around there. And we just got back right around the new year this year.
What were some of your favorite moments out there? There's a lot of crazy players.
Yeah, there were a lot of great players. I made some really great friends and great people out there, and still stay in touch with, of course. And some of the favorite moments, I don't know, it was cool. I got to see a lot of great music coming through there. That like it was kind of like a whole new like there's like something called like Red Dirt and like Texas country stuff, which is like huge. They're like
I've never heard of Red Dirt.
Exactly. Nobody outside the state has, but if you go anywhere, if you talk to anybody in like Texas or Oklahoma, like these people are like household names there, and it's insane. And then like they'll play for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people like a night whenever they play, but then like they'll sometimes tour outside of the state and like the region, but for the most part, like they stay within there. And there's like a whole circuit where these people just kind of make a killing, like just tour. It's like its own country, its own scene. It's pretty weird.
What were some of the guys?
Man, I'm drawing blank on names, but I played with a ton of them, and like it was really funny. It was like, cause I didn't know, like I went down there and I met a lot of people pretty quickly, and I got to like open up for these people, meet a lot of them, and I didn't really know who they were, so I kind of felt like I don't know, like a phony, because like I'm there and like all these people are like, oh, you opened up for so and so, that must have been great. I'm like, yeah, it was cool. Like
So amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a blur, and even if you do know who the artist is, sometimes you don't get to meet him or see him or talk to him anyways. They're kind of
right, but most of the guys, they were like pretty reachable and nice guys and humble people and like good people for the most part. I mean, there were some dicks, of course, but like,
there's always going to be the attitude.
right,
And
yeah, and I think they're, I don't know. It's weird just because like you have to, like most of the bands, like you have to write a song that you have to like pander to people that live there. So like everybody has a song with, you wouldn't believe like how few things rhyme with San Antone, and that's in, like every song.
everyone's got the same 3 lines then.
Right. Well, it's like that was like my $1 million idea. I'm like, if I'm gonna stay down here, I have to write a song that rhymes with San Antonio. So
San
I'm still working
Antonio.
on it. You got anything? What rhymes with Antonio?
Home, yo.
Yeah, that's okay.
The Boreal.
Bologna, Lego, Ego.
Yeah,
Ceremonial.
these are all okay ideas.
Get the chili and cheese Ego and San Antonio.
Yeah, that's
Sing it with
It's
like
the
a
ceremonial memorial in San Antonio.
Okay, we're getting.
where,
I don't think any of these words have rhymed with Antonio so far.
Bland
Blandio. Is that a word? Can we invent a word?
homeopathy.
Or just say any word with EO at the end and just be like, oh, I was creative.
See,
Bingo was his
you just
name,
made the
though.
mistake of asking Tom and I to think of creative things.
We immediately turn into like a slapstick comedy hour.
Well, that's fine. We're going to be doing this well beyond the show's over, I'm sure. Be thinking about this.
I think so. It's going to be like one of those carry-ons.
I'm going to be like texting Tom tonight when I get home. Like, does this work?
Cheerio.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cheerio. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Candy corn.
Yeah,
Eminem would make it work.
Very good, Dave.
Eminem rhymed orange for like a minute.
Did he?
Thank you, Vince.
That's right.
Who's Vince?
Clortho, Keymaster, Gozer.
What does that have to do with anything?
What was the original question?
Am I the Vincent? You're
If.
Dana? Are you Dana?
Could I have the original question, please? So did you ever... So what were the top 10 things that rhymed with Antone? San Antone.
Some of them didn't even rhyme. They'd be like home.
See?
So like, yeah, I know, but like that's a thing. So it's just like, and they were hits. So I'm like, I figured, I'm like, man, if I could just think of one thing like that, I could
That actually rhymes.
make $1 million.
Bone Antone.
Bonio. Borneo, that's a country, I think.
I left Borneo to go to San Antonio.
Right, that's close.
Ooh, we can't release that. That part's got to get edited out.
I say we
in
just,
case.
for the whole, how long is this, a half hour?
Yeah.
Just do this.
Just woodshed ideas for your.
All right. And the audience, if you'd like to leave any comments,
Yeah, should I give them my email address where they could send
yes, or your home address, because
Yeah.
it's just more genuine to get an actual piece of mail.
Or my
That's right.
phone number. I
Or
can
a
have them
person
call.
knocking at your door.
Right, that'd be great.
I know it was probably pretty great to be in Austin and playing with all those crazy things. And you were on tour also.
Yeah, I
too,
toured a bunch with a few different bands, and I played with some pretty good bands. And like I said, I stay in touch with most of the people. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was on the road a lot, and which I didn't love. Like, that's not my favorite thing to do, but
Why is that?
it's just, I don't know. It's like you're just traveling a lot, and it's just like you're playing for 90 minutes the most of the night, and then you're traveling 13 hours the next day, staying in hotels, eating crappy food,
Yeah, right.
not sleeping good, like on a bus or in a van or wherever you're at, or some crappy hotel. So, I mean, it was fun, like the people and stuff around it, but just the action, I mean, I don't know. It's not as glorious as people think it is. Like when I was a kid, I'm like, oh man, that's my dream. Then I did. I'm like, oh God, this is hell.
Now, is it mostly just because you're not getting paid like huge cash? You can't really afford like the amenities and things like that?
Not even that, because I was in some like decent situations where they were traveling pretty comfortably and staying in nice places and stuff. But it's just, I'm a homebody, so it's kind of nice I like to sleep in my own bed and be with my wife and my dog, and at the end of the night, and just like kind of chill. So, yeah, I don't know. But it was fun. I mean, I played a lot of great venues and toured all over the country and played with some great acts, and it was pretty cool.
Can I ask you what your favorite venue was to play in?
Oh man, yeah. There was a couple cool places that I'd been to. Like the cool thing about down there was like they had they're like honky tonks, so they're like these old like dance halls and stuff that have been there for like, I can't remember the name of the one. It was outside of Austin. It was called like Septic Hall, I think, and it's one of the oldest honky tonks in the country. And I was there a couple times, and that was really cool. Like I played Lukenbach, Texas. That's kind of like a famous song or a place. Like Willie Nelson, like a bunch of people like written songs about it, and it's kind of like a nostalgic place. And I played there a few times. That was always fun. And that's outside of Austin. And then Austin was cool. It's like they have a downtown strip. It's called 6th Street, and it's kind of like touristy, and people down there like hate it. It's kind of like Wrigleyville here. They're just like, oh, it's filled with a bunch of like
tourists and stuff.
Yeah, tourists or just like drunk idiots and stuff. But there's some cool venues there, and I mean, yeah, like
So
Austin.
it's probably a fun place to play a street like that, though.
Yeah,
right?
no, and it was because there's a lot of tourists, and they're there, and they love to see music, and that's why they're there. So it was just always like appreciative crowds, and it was fun. So I enjoyed that part of it.
Did you get to record it all out there?
Yeah, I did a lot of like most of the recordings and session work stuff. It was all on pedal steel pretty much for the most part. I did maybe one or two guitar things, but a lot of the gigs I had it was probably like 50-50 like guitar and pedal steel. I really didn't do too much of my own stuff down there. It was kind of just like
Hired gun.
yeah, like sideman stuff, because it was like a whole new world to me, and I didn't know, like, I'm like, this is too overwhelming to try to, and I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with San Antonio, so the odds were stacked against me.
Well, you even said you didn't even have to rhyme. That's kind of a lame excuse. Man.
Right, and I don't know, and I couldn't like buy a cowboy hat either, so that was
Did you guys like go to the rodeo in San Antonio?
Oh yeah, well that's not bad. That might be that sounds like a George Strait song or something. Right?
Hey, the $1 million idea though.
Right, I know, I like that. I think that's okay. Hold on, let's take 5 and let's hash this one out.
All the guys wear bolos in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Polios. Nobody has polio in San Antonio.
That would be more of like a Dr. Demento type song.
Right, yeah.
Which could still work.
Or Svengoolie.
Yes.
Is he still around?
Yes. I don't know, but I liked Svengoolie better.
Weird Al's still around, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he would approve.
Yeah, I just watched that Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, and Weird Al makes a cameo. It's pretty awful.
Wait,
Which one?
Which one?
Oh man, what's it called?
Did you say awful or awesome?
Awful. It's like awesome just because like whatever. I'll like watch every Adam Sandler movie just because I'm like, he's gonna make a good one again.
Yeah,
I swear."
Billy Madison's gonna come around again
Right.
someday, right?
What's the name? It's like, man, it's like his name. It's like he plays an agent or something.
Like the super,
Sandy Wexler.
I don't.
or something.
Oh,
Sandy
yeah,
Wexler,
yeah, I think
yeah.
that's what it's called.
the super Jewish agent,
Yes, that's it.
one of Adam Sandler's few characters. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was.
Was it worse?
It's what you'd imagine it'd be. So I'm not gonna say anything bad because I still love him.
You're just waiting for the return of the master.
Right? Yeah, of
Mhm.
course. So yeah, that was Texas, and that's kind of like it was good. Like I said, we had a lot of good memories down there, a lot of good shows I got to play, and a lot of good people I got to meet. And,
Did you happen to ever mess with Texas?
no, I was smarter than that. I knew
Okay.
better than to do that.
Don't mess with Texas.
No, that was the thing. But the thing was, like, everybody on the news hears about Chicago, and like,
Sure.
I lived in
Yeah.
like all different parts of Chicago, and they're like, "Oh, have you ever been in the South Side?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I lived in like Bridgeport, like for a time." And they're like, "That's crazy." So like, they think that's way more. of a
They think
thing
you
to
used
mess
the bullets
with.
flying over your head.
Right?
Like-
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all.
The
but-
grass is always greener. Right.
Right. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, it was like I got like some credibility because I lived in Chicago.
You could have helped with the guy downstairs then, That guy was from the South Side.
Oh, I missed it, I guess.
We had some mild entertainment outside.
Some riffraff I hear.
Yeah,
It was rare.
riffraff.
That was the first time in years, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good ratio.
Nice.
But I know there are some great parts to that scene. Like I know Nick and Paige.
Oh yeah, so he got like Nick. He's a super nice guy. I met him right before we moved down there. We did a gig together,
Sure.
and we became friends. And then right before, like a couple months before I knew we were gonna go down there, I contacted him, and he hooked me up with some gigs. And such a nice guy and talented guy, and we're friends with him. And we hung out a bunch down there. And
Yeah, they were awesome.
yeah, they're great people. You should have them on here next time they're up.
Oh, I'd love to. Like I say, they were. The Paige and the Reverend Few were a staple here for a long time. They played almost every single hop string. I think they did play every single hop string fest. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was like everyone was moving to Austin. We're like, no, what's
Yeah, it was
happening?
great. There's so many. That was a thing. Like everyone was moving. There's like a Portlandia sketch where they're like, or like Fred Armisen's like, I'm moving to Austin. He's just like telling everybody, and it's just like we watch it. And I'm like, and like right when we moved down there, we're just like, wow, where are these people?
Yeah. Well, we are definitely glad to have you back, man.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back. Like, I mean, there's so many like good friendships and musicians and people I know and family and stuff up here. So it's really great to be back. And
And that's one thing. All jokes aside, I'm always really excited about all the support and camaraderie of the musicians around here. It's not like everyone's out to get you
Right,
or
yeah.
be better than you. Everyone's kind of working together. Was there a similar thing going on in Austin at all?
yeah, I mean, you get like front people, like diva people who are like competitive or like have their egos and stuff. But for the most part, like all the musician people, like they were all. I don't think I had a problem with like any person that wasn't like a singer. Like the only like people I had problems with were like manager types or like singer types, and like other than that, like all the musicians were just like sweet, like humble people, talented, and just like supportive. They weren't like not like trashing other people or anything like that. It was kind of a pretty supportive community, which is good. I mean, and it's just there's like so much music there, it's insane. But the thing is, like, everybody complains because it's like it has this huge like tech boom down there now. So like some of the music clubs are closing, they're putting up condos everywhere, and everyone's like, oh, like all the old school Austin people are like, it sucks now, it's not what it used to be.
Oh,
But I went down there, I'm like, no, this is great. Like,
it's still good.
yeah, this is awesome. Like, you guys don't know how good you have it. I mean, I love Chicago, and it's my favorite city probably. And
It's a great city, but it's not exactly a thriving hotspot for live music.
right, yeah, and that was the thing. It was different. I'm not gonna say it was better there, but it was just like a different, like
More
it's-
appreciative.
at times, yeah. But it depended on the gig, I guess. Like, 'cause sometimes it would be, and sometimes it wouldn't be. Like, I would play like dance halls where I'd be playing like in like these honky tonk places, and the band would like applaud the dancers because there'd be like 200 people dancing, and it wasn't like. And it'd be dead silence after the song, but they all loved it and they danced. So I'm just like, this is so. It was super weird. I just
Different.
wasn't used to seeing people like dancing that way, and then like the singers being like, "Thank you, dancers, give yourselves a hand." I'm like, "Give the band a hand. We're the ones playing up here all night."
One time at least, please.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was definitely different. It was a cool experience. I'm glad we did it, but it's good to be home. Definitely.
And I did notice, and I was maybe a little guilty of it myself. When you came back home, I noticed like you like fell right back into the gigs, man. You're like working like crazy. Everyone was like, "Pat's back home. Get him up. Get him in there."
Yeah, well, I tried to plan that because like I was coming back. I knew like a month or two maybe before we moved back that we were going to. My wife wanted to, and I wanted to, and so like I'm like, all right, I don't want to be just like sitting at home not doing anything. And so I contacted, and I left on good terms with everybody when we went out there. So a lot of the people I was still playing with before, and the things I had going before, like I kind of picked up right where I left. So it was really nice, and it was just like a testament to how good the people are here. You know, they took care of me, and they were happy to help me out because they knew that I kind of needed it when I got back here. So that was great.
Well, and also too, you're a great player. You're reliable. You're always conscientious. You're never like too drunk or to play or something like that. It's always, I mean, you're easy to work with. You play good songs. I remember doing the I can't think of the name. Is it the Honky Tonk Saloon?
Oh, Honky Tonk Barbecue. Yeah,
Yeah.
Burleson. Yeah, I love that place.
That place was cool. That was a really fun gig. I didn't know any of the songs we played that night. I don't think I was playing upright bass.
Yep.
And it was always very comfortable. I didn't
Yeah,
feel
and
like, oh no.
I'm like, we'll do songs with 2-3 chords in it, and if there's more, I'll let you know. I'll cue you.
And that happened exactly. You did not deny.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Yeah, we did a couple gigs together.
There was good barbecue there too.
Yeah, and that was I do miss that about Texas. Their barbecue was.
Oh, the beef. That's where the beef's
amazing.
grown, man.
Yeah, I know, like, you could
that
see-
Black Angus.
Yeah, so it was like a.
You said you could see.
Yeah, like where the cows were coming, like they were probably like down the highway from. I mean, it
Oh, you
was,
smell it too.
yeah,
huh?
pretty much. So
Yeah,
I mean, it was
stockyards.
like it was. Yeah, I played in the stockyards. That's in like Fort Worth, Texas. There's a
Ooh.
lot of. They played a couple cool venues up there too. That was a really cool town. I never really was familiar with that place, and
What is that now?
it's called Fort Worth. It's just outside of Dallas.
Oh.
So it's about 3 hours north of Austin. So.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say sometimes like they got an airport out in Dallas, like right outside of there. I'd fly out of sometimes.
It's like it's one of the biggest in the country.
Yeah, it's got like the biggest, like one of the biggest honky tonk places in the world or something. That's like their claim to fame out there. It's called Billy Bob's.
Well, go figure.
Appropriate.
Wait, Billy Bob's.
Yeah.
We're the good old boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'm sure that was an homage to that.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure that's a pretty common tavern name.
Yeah, I
too.
think like every town. Down
I
there
think
probably-
if your parents name you Billy Bob, you are entitled to open up a tavern.
I have a
Yes.
friend who I went to like hung out with in high school. His name was William Robert, so we called him Billy Bob.
Nice.
And normally, like people like associate that with kind of like a like idiot or something, but he's like a physicist.
Joke's on you, pal.
Yeah.
So I have not yet seen you ever play pedal steel. I know you had a couple just as you were about to leave for Austin.
Yeah.
Do you still have your pedal steels?
Yeah. I still play. I play in a couple bands around here like pretty regularly, and I do that. And like I kind of.
Which projects are those?
I play with this guy Nick Lynch a lot. I play with just a lot of different like songwriter people. I got a couple sessions. I just did a recording with my brother's band that he plays with. I did some pedal steel stuff for them.
I didn't know you had a brother.
Yeah, I got a younger brother. He's a really good drummer, and but I could kick his ass still. And he thinks he's tough.
Of course.
Well, he's going to hear this. And
Yeah, I'm
going to
make sure he learns or hears this. So
we'll have him on the podcast.
Yeah, so
and he can talk shit, and then we'll live podcast the battle royale that happens.
That would be a really amazing moment.
right, yeah, when you guys do
the
like,
Lions Den.
Yes. Oh my God. See, it's meant to be. This is the
Yeah.
Lions Den.
we've heard that before.
Oh man.
It's Yocker, yeah.
So I did some stuff, recording stuff with his band that he was touring with and stuff, and they're really good. They're called Rat Boys. Check them out.
Rap boys.
Rat,
Oh, Rat.
R-A-T. Yeah, they're great. And they were touring all over the country, and then they were in Europe for like a few weeks. And he actually just quit the band though because he got like a regular job. So
Oh, that stinks.
yeah. So and then I play with a bunch of different people here with pedal steel. I do a lot of stuff on guitar still. I just a lot of acoustic stuff here. I mean, my main thing, I played electric guitar forever, and that was like my main thing that I felt comfortable at. And since I've been back, I think I've done like 1 or 2 gigs on electric, and that's it. It's all been like acoustic guitar stuff or like pedal steel.
Yeah, because you started playing with, and we just had Pat Otto and Bridget Kavanaugh up here last week.
Awesome.
And you play with those guys all the time? You play with Steve Habrichter all the time?
Yeah, I play with Steve a lot. We do a lot of acoustic stuff. We just played this last weekend at Hailstorm. It was a lot of fun. We're playing at the Blue Island place at the brewery on, Friday, I think. I don't know when this is coming out, so it probably
Blue Island Beer Company. This will be out in 2 weeks from today, so
we played
May
at
1st-ish.
Blue Island 2 weeks ago.
How was that gig?
It was interesting. There was a lot of drama, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
Well, that'll be the part 2. We'll talk about that. It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, I shouldn't have brought my flask of whiskey in.
Right.
And those are the magic chimes signifying the end of the interview portion of the show. All right, Pat. I was kind of about ready to delve into some more stuff.
Wait, did you guys hear that noise too, or was that just me?
What noise?
Yep.
That was the lamest joke I just told ever right there. What noise? What noise, Pat? No, I didn't hear the noise that. Sorry.
That was the end of the show.
That was the end.
I
of the
thought
show.
that was just in my cans. I wasn't sure.
No, nothing broke. That
Okay.
was.
No, we just like to freak out our guests with that.
Okay, cool.
Keep
I
you
like
on your
it.
toes.
It's funny. Really quick. I got to do a shameless plug. I got an album that I'm recording, and I think I used that same pad as the back of for one of the songs. It's like a deep sea underground pad.
This is all custom made.
Actually,
is it?
Yeah, actually, it is me in the background going.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh.
it truly is. A little
Yeah,
trivia.
I thought it was a Logic preset.
Oh, hey, thanks.
no.
I am a robot officially.
What kind of studio do you take this?
I don't know.
This is all
This is not
custom
the
made.
studio
sound
you're
effects.
looking for. And I'm glad to hear you say that you're recording some live stuff or original stuff.
Yeah, I got a whole album that I just finished recording, so it should
Very
be,
cool.
we're mixing it right now, so it should be.
I was just going to say you're playing with all these other people, so I was hoping that you were about to launch an original project. Are you going to have a band with you? Or are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
do it-
mean, this stuff has been full band stuff, so on it, and mainly based around acoustic guitar. That first song that I played earlier is going to be on it, and then we'll see what else. And then I got 7 or 8 more tunes going to be on it. So
You're not required to play the second song to be off that album, just so you know.
okay, good, yeah, because I haven't been playing out much, so I don't get to play any of these songs ever, so I don't know them. That was the only one. I'm like, it's the only one on the album I think I've done before that I could probably remember how to play.
Well, what do you got first now?
So this is an old tune that I wrote, and I think I got it online somewhere. You could look up Pat Lyons Bandcamp. It's on there, and this is a tune that I wrote called Colorado Moon, and I think we might actually play this one time at House of Blues together.
We did. I was going to ask you if this was a Safe Haven song.
Yeah, and so this is a band I used to play in, and I still play it sometimes for acoustic gigs and stuff, and I wrote this one about 4 or 5 years ago.
Nice. Go ahead and swing that mic out of your way when you're ready.
Sure. Woke up with a bottle next to my bed. I woke up with memories and tried to rid from my head. The harder I try, the more I get behind. The closer I look, the less that I find. So I'll wait for you beneath the Colorado moon, counting stars, hope you're coming home soon. Tried my best, but I did my worst. And the last time feels just like the first. It's been a week since I decided to leave. It's been a week since I started to grieve. The more that I travel, the more I feel confined. The longer I wait, the more I got time. So I'll wait for you beneath the Colorado moon, counting stars, hope you're coming on soon. I tried my best, but I did my worst. And the last time feels just like the first. try to buy back my time. I don't think I could ever remember what it was that felt this time last September. So I'll wait for you beneath the Colorado moon, counting stars, hope you're coming home soon. I tried my best, but I did my worst. And the last time feels just like the first.
That was great. I do remember playing that song. That's a good tune.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, Pat, for coming up and doing this interview. Really appreciate
thanks.
it.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys, for having me. Had a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll do it again when I get the album finally out.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back up with the full band season of the show. That'd be pretty awesome.
Cool,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah,
Who do you have playing with you?
It's kind of like a thrown together band. I had this guy who's producing the record, kind of like engineering it. He played drums and keyboards on it. His name's Packy Lundholm. I don't think you know him.
I do not.
Really talented guy, funny guy. So basically, I didn't know him that well, but he really loves The Simpsons. So we both decided we should do an album together.
That was it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then
So the whole thing's a concept album about Homer Simpson then?
yeah, just like seasons like 1 through 10 though.
Okay.
That's the
The good
the
seasons.
glory days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Kyle Myers, he played bass on it, and
I have heard that name before. Was he in Safe Haven?
yeah, he played with us a lot, and he just kind of plays with a lot of people, and he's a really great bass player and a good friend of mine. And then yeah, a couple of guest people like Nikki Giblin sang some songs on it, and she did an awesome job. She sounded amazing. And
She's great, and she's been up here a million times and plays with the Leadfoot crew of people.
Yeah, and then I think that was it as far as musicians. It was just, and then I tried to play a bunch of different stuff on it and not sound terrible.
I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know.
Well, thanks again, Pat, and thanks,
Yeah.
Dave, for everything that you do up here.
Yeah, I love doing it.
And I also want to thank Bill Aldrich for letting us use this facility every week.
Yeah, in the works, interview with the man himself.
Yeah, we're hoping to get him up here in the next couple of weeks. Bill's got a lot of interviews coming up. We're going to have him, we'll hopefully do our first business interview, so there'll be no music. It's just talking with the proprietor. We figured since he owns the joint, or runs the joint, he should probably be the first one. We'll have him back up here with the Vaudevillains. We'll have him maybe up here with a Jeff Julian interview.
Yeah.
So we got to give him a little more credit than we usually do, I think. And we'd also like to thank the Trisnas, Mike and Kathy, for running one of the coolest bars I've ever been to. I don't often go to other places because it's just not the same.
It's pretty cool.
It's a great place, man. And thank you, folks, for listening to another episode of What's Going Down in Downtown J-Town.